The Goldman family gets a call from friends telling them to turn on their television.
I didn't have a feeling one way or the other whether he was guilty or innocent. I just remember people, you know, shouting and running to street corners to watch him drive by, and they were following the helicopters.
3,000 miles away at Madison Square Garden, NBC is broadcasting the NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. The network breaks in with the chase, and suddenly, millions of people across the country are seeing the white Bronco with police in pursuit. Every media outlet is now broadcasting the chase. Helicopters follow the caravan overhead.
They're lined up abreast and following the vehicle at a very slow pace, just trying to keep it as safe as possible.
Denise Brown and her family are still watching from Nicole's condo in Brentwood.
How pathetic is this? When I saw this chase going on, I thought, unbelievable.
In Agora Hills, the Goldmans are transfixed by what they're seeing.
And it was just a fascinating story that was unwinding right in front of me that I had no idea what it would amount to. And then from that point on, our TV was just, we were glued to him for the rest of the night.
In Carson, Cowlings turns the Bronco onto Interstate 405 heading north. Reporters continuously update the audience.
And we expect that the suspect vehicle with OJ Simpson inside apparently is going to be coming by here shortly.
5 miles away in El Camino, 13-year-old Cynthia Fury is home watching television with her grandfather and uncle. A minute later, the chase passes right by her house.
We're like, oh gosh, it's OJ. We just kind of stood there in silence for a while, and it was really eerie. It was just like TV had come to life for me.
There it is. We can see the driver. We can see the driver. We do not see anyone in the back. At this point, only the driver. But as you can see, this has become somewhat of a hot pursuit now. And people are coming up along behind in their own cars. Police apparently chasing the suspect's vehicle. Drivers now chasing the police vehicles, the CHP vehicles, all northbound now on 405 with hundreds of people watching this bizarre chase as it unfolds.
It was as though a concert had let out on the freeway. Both sides were packed with pedestrian traffic. And as we drove through those areas, it was kind of like a parting of the Red Sea.
Many people lining the freeways are clearly in support of O.J. Simpson. They cheer the Bronco and flash obscene gestures at the police.
There was a part of me that was thinking, oh, I guess he's bigger than I think he is, and these are his fans. And then I thought, oh my God, these people are warped. Like, who would do this?
School administrator Robert Ajacque is home, watching the chase on television. He gets into his car and drives 3 miles to the La Tierra overpass, where he decides to get out and watch.
It kind of reminded me of the chaos that took place during the LA riots, where people kind of lost a sense of civility.
I see CHP vehicles weaving back and forth wildly, trying to slow down the traffic that is civilian traffic, looky-loos, if you will, in hot pursuit of the hot pursuit.
Alita Boston is at home in Torrance, watching the chase on TV. Helicopters pass right over her house, a mile from the 405.
I really wanted to get in my car and go and root him on and make sure, you know, he knew that we were there so he didn't have to kill himself. I really felt that he wasn't going to make it out alive.
KNBC TV reporter Conan Nolan and his cameraman enter the 405. There, they wait in their news van for the Bronco to catch up with them. Within minutes, it appears in their rearview mirror, followed by police cars.
All the traffic going in the opposite direction stopped. I see along the banks of the freeway people with signs, and I remember thinking, how is it possible that they had time to make signs?
Nolan pulls out in front of the formation and via cell phone narrates a live play-by-play of the pursuit for KNBC.
There were at least 12 different black and white units that pursued from a distance the entire route. CHP, LAPD, Orange County sheriffs, as well as various jurisdictions.
Police are forced to dodge motorists who try to interfere with the pursuit.
Cowling sped up and went around them, and one pickup truck just rammed into the back of the other one.
The bizarre spectacle is becoming more dangerous by the second. The chaos on the 405 is getting out of hand, and police can only hope that it ends before disaster strikes. That's next on A&E. Minute by Minute will be back in a moment here on A&E. And now we return to Minute by Minute. June 17th, 7:18 p.m. Police continue to pursue the white 1994 Ford Bronco carrying OJ Simpson, who has now been a fugitive for 7.5 hours. He crouched in the back seat of the car with a loaded gun, heading north on the 405 freeway in Los Angeles. His friend Al Cowlings is at the wheel.
19 stage 4045, and we're coming up very fast out of the Marina freeway.
Thousands of people are standing by the highway, watching the spectacle. Santa Ana Police Sergeant Richard Merg.
You had people running across the freeway. One guy almost got hit by the patrol cars.
Civilian vehicles on the 405 try to catch up to the Bronco, and Cowlings' driving becomes increasingly erratic. The cheering throngs and an estimated 95 million people watching at home are unaware that behind the scenes, the LAPD is desperately trying to get control of the situation. LAPD headquarters. After a number of unsuccessful attempts, Detective Tom Lang finally reaches OJ on his cell phone and tells him to get rid of the gun.
Man, just throw it out the window. And nobody's gonna get hurt.
Television crews are monitoring police transmissions and announce that Simpson is headed for his home. This sends hundreds of cars to the Sunset Boulevard exit of the 405. KNBC's Conan Nolan and his cameramen are still in front of the Bronco, videotaping through their rearview mirror.
He's headed down the 405, trying to make it clear, apparently, to all enforcement where he was going, and of course, that was the mansion.
In the midst of this chaos, Detective Lang continues talking to OJ. They are constantly losing their connection.
I'm just gonna leave. I'm
No,
just gonna
don't.
go with Nicole. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all
Hey,
I'm trying
listen.
to do.
Don't throw it away, man. Come on. OJ? Help. Lost him again.
The Bronco is now only a few miles away from Simpson's home in Brentwood. Lang again calls and asks Simpson to throw his gun out of the car.
Come on, you're scaring the hell out of those people. They're being stupid out there. I can see them on the TV.
We're coming up on Sunset Boulevard. 405 approaching Sunset Boulevard.
Cowlings turns off at Sunset Boulevard and finds a huge crowd waiting. NBC's producer Tony Dill is there with a camera crew.
They pulled over to the side of the road because they knew, they'd heard on the radio, that OJ and this Bronco was going to come by. People wanted to see this because they thought maybe this is history. This is something that we're not going to see again.
Santa Ana police officer Jay Miller is one of many lawmen in pursuit.
People were running up and trying to touch the side of the Bronco as it went by. It was absurd. Waiting for some pedestrian to run out and want to have his moment in history and get killed.
Al Cowlings maneuvers the Bronco through the mob and heads west down Sunset Boulevard towards Rockingham. 7:45 p.m. OJ Simpson has now been on the run for 9 hours. An LAPD SWAT team quickly clears the house of Simpson's family before the Bronco reaches the location. Sharpshooters are stationed across the street and in trees surrounding property. In a city where tensions between minorities and police exploded into a riot 2 years earlier, it is a heavy responsibility taking O.J. Simpson into custody. The LAPD SWAT team leader is Sergeant Mike Albanese.
You know, this is in the heels of Rodney King. The whole world is watching, and there are people that are waiting for us to fail. And there are people that want us to fail. Make no mistake about it. And we are not going to fail.
7:57 p.m. A cheering crowd meets the Bronco as Cowlings pulls into Rockingham Drive.
AC, pull me in my driveway.
I know, I see you. I see you.